What is going on, everyone? It is G Money back at it again on another wonderful day. Just out right now doing my thing, thinking about things, getting out of the house, doing what I can to not be all cooped up inside the place, because not being cooped up is the most important thing between you being successful and in a good mood and not successful and in a shitty mood. Now, that is not profound in any way whatsoever. What I just said right there is very simple within and of itself. But I'm telling you what, man, getting out of the house, even if it's just for 20 minutes, you run down to the grocery store, you got to buy a few things, you go out and get some coffee because you want some coffee, or you just want to get out of the house, that makes all the difference in your day. The worst fucking days, honestly, are the ones where you don't go anywhere at all. You just stay in your house all day long. You don't feel like doing shit. Maybe you're just staying inside your house because the weather outside is shit. It might be really cold. It might be very hot. In my case where I live, it's usually because it's very cold. But I'm telling you, man, getting out, even if it's just going for a drive, going for a walk, even just stopping and saying hello to somebody, it makes all the difference during the day. And if you do that every day, if every one of your days is like that, it's going to change your life. Because, man, I just hate being cooped up. I hate being cooped up. It's just so how we're not supposed to live as humans. We're not supposed to stay cooped up. It's why this corona crap, this Karunka bullshit is bullshit, because it pushes social isolation. It tells you to wear a mask, you can't see anybody smile. It tells you that you can't be around grandma, and there was some guy that was really coming up this road really fast. Dude needs to slow the fuck down. It's telling you, excuse me there, it's basically saying that humans are the virus and you must stay away from people because you might get sick. Let me tell you this, that is all bullshit. And that shit right there, if you actually follow that kind of insane nonsense, whatever you want to call it, advice, because it is being promoted as advice, you're going to make yourself more sick doing that than doing the opposite. Being around people actually boosts your immune system, makes you happy, and when you're happy, you live longer. Now, we can get into that in another video, because that is somewhat of another topic. I was just thinking right now, and I've thought of these things before, but it really just popped into my head because I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about in this video. Whether or not I wanted this video to be one of those videos where, I just let whatever is on my chest off my chest, or do I think of something to talk about and I start there and I see what happens from there? And I just thought of this. I get it. What do I get? I get the desire to be in the Matrix. I do. I totally do. I understand why people don't want to be truthers, don't want to listen to people who consider themselves conspiracy theorists, don't want to listen to an alternative point of view, because if they had to, it would totally reshape their entire reality. Everything that they've known, they would be questioning. And I can tell you what, going through that wake-up phase is quite a brutal phase. It really is. It's a tough phase because you do start questioning everything. You do start seeing things and certain things that you would have never thought of or seen them before, And it can be very overwhelming at times, You start looking at people differently. You start looking at music differently. You start looking at TV differently. You start looking at the whole world differently. And there's a phase during that time where you're not even sure what is real anymore. You're not sure what is legit and what isn't legit. Because you have left the Matrix. You know what I mean? you've taken the red pill, if you want to put it like that. I'm not a big fan of that red pill, blue pill shit, but you've taken the red pill. And because you've taken the red pill, you are now existing in a different world than most of the people around you. And once you exist in that world, you exist in that world. There is no going back. Even if you want to go back, right? Even if you try to go back, when you go back, what are you going back to? You know what I mean? What are you going back to? Because if you do go back, you're going to know deep down inside that all these things that you're engaging in are not the same. Because you see them differently now. You know them for what they are. You can go back and pretend, but you can only pretend for so long. And when you pretend, you're going to hurt your soul. Going against your own soul's warning, right? And acting like somebody you aren't and pretending is going to leave you in a place worse off than before you woke up to the Matrix. Fact. Because, how do I say it? You're going against your own... Man, I can't think of worse than this. This is really frustrating. This has pissed me off. You're going against your own... fuck it. I don't know what to call it. Basically, let's put it like this. You are sabotaging yourself and your true awakening that is occurring inside you. And stopping that awakening at that point, given all the information that you have now discovered, is totally inevitable. You have to follow through with it. Because if you try to, sequester that and you try to push it down and you try to play it off as if it's not happening and as if it's not there, you're going to you're gonna be more lost. You're gonna be more lost. And this is what leads me to the idea of being a truther and the idea of being a normie, an NPC, you know what I mean, a sheep. I'll tell you this, I would rather be an NPC, a sheep, who just goes about life, right, believing in everything that you hear, listening to whatever the TV has to tell you, and accepting everything that you see for what you think it is, for what people are telling you it is, for what the media is telling you it is. I would rather be that person than a truther who knows all this shit but lives in this world where he or she is a victim and feels lost and has no solutions to any of these things that they've now realized and have woken up to. I would rather be that kind of person, the NPC type, than that. Because I'll tell you what, I've been the truther who's known all this shit, but who didn't have any solutions, who just didn't know what to do. And a lot of people are very stuck in that. They're stuck in that mentality. They're stuck in that mental space. And it can get to a point for those people, if they don't find the level above that, which is really quite a good place to be. It's actually seeing beyond the Matrix and seeing beyond what is beyond seeing beyond the Matrix. If they don't get to that point, they might fall back into being a sheep, right? But when they fall back into being a sheep, it's not the same sheep as they were before they woke up to the Matrix. Because they are now lying to themselves, and they have to basically play it off as if they are someone else. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself here. I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but that's what it's all about. And, it can be a lonely world sometime being this kind of person, because or being a truther and seeing things differently or seeing them for what they are, because, you know, the world, there's a lot more to the world than what we've been told and what we've been taught. And that is something that can be a very tough thing for people to come to terms with. All right? And that's all I got to say for now, because what I'm saying, I'm literally just repeating myself at this point. I've said what needed to be said. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Amen. God bless.